please. Do you mind? Let me see that chart. So this was just something. This is sort of incredible. That's so beautiful. Yeah, no, you're not quite. This is to build a highway in the United States. Now, this was just done yesterday. I saw for the first time. I said, you know, I'm speaking to some of my friends who are builders, really great builders. And they've gone through the process. We've all gone through it in New York. With we call it the zoning process in New York. But you start up here, and this is anywhere from a 10 to a 20-year process. You have, is it 17 agencies? You have hundreds and hundreds of permits. Many of them are statutory, where you can't even apply for the second permit until 6 months go by. The process, so this is to build a highway. This is a simple highway. And these are the agencies. So it's 17 agencies. How many different steps is it?
DJ?
16 different approvals.
16?
29 different statutes, 5 different executive orders that all apply to this process. This is indicative, so this is not a specific project, but this is the type of process that this is a state government would have to go through to permit a highway federally. This is just federal, not state regulations.
So it can take anywhere from 10, if you're really good, 10 years to 20 years, and then they vote, and you lose. They don't want it. And it costs sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars just to go through the process. Thank you very much. That was a great job you did. Be careful. Don't fall. I don't want to have you fall. You'll be a big story in the paper if you go down. So I just saw that yesterday. Gary Cohn walked in, and he showed it to me. And for no reason, I said, you have to do me a favor. But a lot of you're such pros, some of the best pros in the world sitting in this room. You understand it. It's a process. Now, I've always liked it because it gave people that could go through that process an advantage, like Jerry. But it gave us an advantage if you could get through the process. But getting a building approved in New York is a horrible, horrible thing. And that's nothing compared to when you get into the highways and the dams. They don't even talk about dams anymore. You know, hydropower is a great, great form of power. We don't even talk about it because to get the environmental permits are virtually impossible. It's one of the best things you can do, hydro, but we don't talk about it anymore. So we've come to a halt. We have a tremendous person that we put in charge of EPA, Scott Pruitt, who is an environmental person. He wants clean air, he wants clean water, but he doesn't think it takes you 26 years to get a permit to build a building and to have jobs, at which time those companies are usually gone out of business, et cetera. So we're really speeding up the process. We're going to try and take that process from a minimum of 10 years down to 1 year. I said, can't we make it 4 months? Can't we do it in 4 months? And there is a certain logic to that, but we'll be satisfied with a year, but it won't be any more than a year. So we have to build roads, we have to build highways. We're talking about a very major infrastructure bill of $1 trillion, perhaps even more. And when we have to do our jobs, I mean, if we say we're giving to New York City hundreds of millions of dollars to build a road someplace, it doesn't help if they can't start, because it's going to take 7.5 years to get the permits. Even to redo a road takes years to get the permits. You know, you have a road that's there, and you want to redo it, and you have to get new permits for the kind of asphalt you're using, the kind of concrete you may want to use. And if we're